Do if you were locked in a room for
just really quick
6 years.
Well, I wouldn't be a cyber terrorist, which he is. He hacked information. His leaks included classified documents that put our national security at risk, our military,
you know,
and the lives of spies and diplomats
at the military. How many?
This is insane. American politics is insane. Just absolutely insane. Here you have everyone's favorite failed daughter, Meghan McCain, throwing out the regular American exceptionalism bottom line when discussing the situation with WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange, who's currently facing extradition from the Ecuadorian embassy to the U.S. for a trial that is absolutely an assault on the free press and the First Amendment. And here you have a conservative who is supposed to be in defense of free speech and believes that this is an American value that we must hold on to, that routinely criticizes other nations for their assault on journalists, defending this position. Just hate to see it. So let's see what Pamela Anderson had to say about it. Now, let's run that back real quick from here.
Our national security at risk, our military,
you know,
and the lives of spies and diplomats
is the military. How many people have the American government killed innocently, and how many has WikiLeaks?
So you think?
Absolutely correct statement. First and foremost, putting our national security at risk is exactly what the American government is using to try Julian Assange, which is terrifying. So I'm just gonna really quickly mention some stuff here and then go back to the video. First and foremost, if you love the First Amendment, there's no question here. Like, if you love freedom of press, there's no question here. You need to do everything you can to defend Julian Assange. It doesn't matter if you like Julian Assange. I personally don't like Julian Assange either. I'm not a fan of him. I think that he absolutely did provide one-sided coverage in the 2016 election. Certainly. Didn't like Hillary Clinton. Probably didn't like Donald Trump as much either, but definitely didn't like Hillary Clinton. But regardless of that, like, what's happening here is going to set a much, much worse precedent. So I'm going to give you some of the phrases contained in the indictment that have provoked an uproar from legal scholars who also think this is terrifying, and also the press that thinks this is terrifying. One, it was a part of the conspiracy that Assange encouraged Manning to provide information and records from departments and agencies of the United States, which is a basic function of journalism to encourage sources to provide information in the public interest on activities of the government, like war crimes, okay? Another line is, it was a part of the conspiracy that Assange and Manning took measures to conceal Manning as the source of the disclosure of classified records to WikiLeaks. Protecting the anonymity of sources, again, is the foundation of investigative and much of national security reporting. Without it, sources would not divulge information. So it's of course going to happen. Like, every single thing that they're attacking Julian Assange on, calling him a cyber terrorist, is things that journalists do as part of their regular national security reporting. This is how it works. So attacking him would mean that the New York Times can no longer do national security reporting. Other mainstream publishers will no longer be able to do national security reporting because Julian Assange isn't a hacker. He is a publisher. He is publishing this information that he's getting from whistleblowers. And then lastly, it was a part of the conspiracy that Assange and Manning used the Jabber online chat service to collaborate on the acquisition and dissemination of classified records. The indictment similarly refers to a Dropbox. Both Jabber and Dropbox are communication tools used by journalists working with whistleblowers, okay? This is all standard practice. So the fact that, the American government is currently using Julian Assange and how unlikable he is, and that liberals aren't out there freaking out about this and asking for Chelsea Manning to also be released and asking for Julian Assange's charges to be dropped is shocking to me. But let's see what Meghan McCain had to say and ended on that.
I think the military is putting the government at risk.
The military has put many innocent lives at risk.
Oh, calm down, sir. I'm actually genuinely curious about your relationship with him.
War crimes need to be punished, and they haven't. The war crimes that he's exposed, no one's done anything about it. But they put him in jail to shut him up.
Are you talking about the 210 video of the helicopter fire killing civilians in Iraq?
Yeah, well, that's one thing, but there's so many other things that he's exposed. And it's not just America he's exposed. He's exposed Russia. He's exposed all sorts of different countries.
That's a controversial area, Russia. A lot of people say that...
Anyway, so I think that this was handled fairly well by Pamela Anderson. I think she loves Julian Assange a little bit too much for my taste, but it doesn't matter. My personal feelings on Julian Assange have nothing to do with this. This is insane and it's terrifying. And if you love America and you love freedom of the press and you love our First Amendment, you better be out there defending Julian Assange, okay? I'm Hasan Piker, and this has been The Breakdown.